The Christmas story, or what the Bible tells us about the birth of Jesus and all the characters and the images associated with that birth, is one that so many of us recognize, whether we grew up in the church or not. No matter where you live, I am guessing that you could drive around your neighborhood at this time of year and see at least one yard that has a nativity set in it. It might have Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, maybe a manger, or it might include shepherds and angels, sheep, maybe wise men. It could be wooden or inflatable. Maybe it even lights up. Can you picture one of them? Great, because during this series, we are going to look more closely at the characters and the images from this ancient story. And we're going to hold them alongside all the visions and expectations that we have at this time of year. And together, I hope we can shed a little light on the difference that the Christmas story can make in our lives today, some 2,000 years after the birth of Jesus. A few years back, I read a book that was sitting out on a shelf at the library. And it was all about the Danish tradition called hygge, Hygge. The subtitle of the book was Danish Secrets to Happy Living. So I figured it would give some interesting insights into a culture that I really didn't know a lot about. And if you're not familiar with that funny word, hygge, essentially it means creating a warm atmosphere. Because of where Denmark is located in relation to the equator, the days are short and the nights are long during the winter. So traditions include things like having intentionality about cozying up with your loved ones and lighting lots of candles. Now, our family is not Danish, but during the winter, we have embraced this idea of hygge and candle lighting in particular. It's the one time that we let our kids go hog wild with matches. Because the warm light from a single candle, I think it changes things about what we see. Try it with me. Just humor me for a minute. Grab a candle and some matches and turn off the lights. Now look around you for a minute in the darkness. What do you notice about how the room feels? About how the other people who are with you in that room look? About the things on the table or on the walls, if you can see them at all? Okay, now light that candle. And take the same survey of the things around you. If you're with someone else, notice how that light illuminates them in a new way. Notice how a single light casts shadows and gives dimensions to things that you see around you. The light from one candle, it affects how we experience darkness. In the Gospel of John in the Bible, there's not much at all to the story of Jesus' birth. It's just this somewhat abstract and poetic description that we read here in chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. These words, they might sound kind of strange to us at first glance when you're listening to them, but the author of John was looking back to the Hebrew scriptures, to the story of Genesis, where God created the heavens and the earth, where there was a formless void before there was any light in the world at all. And John continues telling us about a man named John the Baptist, as we'd come to call him later in the Bible. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. We don't hear anything about a pregnant teenage Mary or a scared Joseph in the book of John. We don't read about angels or shepherds, and there's no manger or talk about a baby being born at all. We just hear about the true light coming to the world to shine through the darkness in such a way that no amount of darkness could ever overcome it. So today I invite you to think about that candle you lit. Maybe you'll think about all the lights in general at this time of year. Maybe you'll take a minute to notice the darkness that you've been experiencing. To pause, to name what that darkness is, to notice how it makes you feel, and then to light a candle and to notice what it illuminates around you. Maybe it illuminates other people who love you. Maybe it illuminates some hard truths that you've previously been unwilling to address. Maybe you'll recognize other people in your life who are experiencing darkness of their own this Christmas. And maybe it'll help you push aside the idea that we're all supposed to automatically be happy, filled with joy simply because it's Christmas time. And you can help remind them that light found in the form of a baby is coming into this dark and dreary world for them, to be with them, to help them know that no darkness is strong enough to overcome them.